Hey everybody, Will Brumbach here with another tutorial on making music in Soundtrap. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to explore different ways to make beats, okay? There are two main ways, as you can use the Patterns beat maker or you can play it in yourself, okay? So, let's start with playing it in ourselves. So we're going to go over to add new track. All right, we're going to go to drums and beats. Okay, so we're going to click on the instrument, and now what you're going to do is you're going to take a look at these keys and you're going to kind of play along. Now I'm going to change the drum set to, we'll do clean red, okay? Now the different colors respond to different kind of drum sets, so you just have to go through and pick whichever drum set you like the sound of. So let's see, let's just do the bass drum and the snare drum, and let's go A, D. All right, now that's going to just start playing that, but I want to turn the loop function off because I really don't want it to play yet. Off, okay? Now, I've adjusted the tempo to 110, and how you can do that is you just click on the tempo, type in the tempo you want, hit confirm, and then you're good to go. All right, so let's move the cursor back here. I'm going to go. Now, I have a little bit of a delay because I have my whole rig set up with the headphones and everything, but that's going to be perfect because it's going to be able to show you how I'm going to edit the MIDI. So let's hit record now that I've got my groove. Alright, so I only did 2 measures because I know it's going to stay the same. So let's play it and see what that sounds like. Okay, so obviously it's not lined up, so what we're going to do is go to piano roll, and there's one of 2 ways you can do this, okay? You can click on all of these and drag them over and make them line up yourself. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so still not perfect. This measure right here is completely off, so we take this, drag that here. Now to fine tune it, we can right click, go to quantize, and let's do 8th note quantize, okay? So bring the cursor here. Okay, still not perfect, all right? But what the quantizing does is it lines it up to the grid. So since it repeats itself, let's just take this, delete it, highlight here, option click, basically copies the measure over. And now let's listen. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change this. This needs to go on beat 4. All right. Perfect. Take this, delete, option click. All right, now we're good to go. So now let's play it. And that's it. You play it in. That's how you can do it. Now, if you wanted to add some hi-hats and stuff, I would recommend going up here, duplicating the track, and you add the hi-hat in another track, and then you can kind of record the volume level of everything first, okay? So that's one way to program drums. Now, let's go down here to the second way, and we're going to click on Patterns. Let's take this MIDI region. Let's delete it, okay? Alright, I'm going to turn this thing off here. Alright, so now we've gone to Patterns. And what this does is it's basically a grid, okay? Each of these blocks is 1 beat. And each of these little blocks are 16th notes, okay? So what you just do with the patterns is you just click on the blocks. So let's say we want to add a kick. Let's add a kick here. Alright? And where you are here, the patterns will put it into that measure. So you know what? Let's reset that. Let's delete. Get out of patterns. Bring the cursor back to measure 1. We're going to change this here to just from measure 1 to 2. The patterns function will do this automatically. So now let's add our kick in. Okay, so we've got our kick. Now we'll add our snare. Kick and then snare and see what happens. That's a cool groove. Not exactly what I had, but that's pretty cool. Now, let's say you wanted to add some reverb. Let's add a little bit of reverb to that. Might be a little too much, actually. All right, now let's add the hi-hat. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the cool thing about this is that you don't have to worry about quantizing and making sure it all lines up. It'll do that for you. You just have to click the little boxes here to find what you like. All right, so now let's say you wanted to change that measure. Okay, let's just copy this over here. All right, put the cursor here, exit out of patterns, click on this, click on patterns, and there you go. Okay, and you can change it. Let's take the hi-hat out for this one. All right, so bring the cursor here. Unfortunately, in order to hear everything, you have to exit out of the pattern. So let's go back to the instrument, turn this thing off. All right, and those are 2 ways to program drums. Now you can go a lot farther than this, okay? A lot farther with this stuff and do it for the whole thing and add all these different kinds of grooves, okay? But those are just the basic ways to program drums. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'm going to catch you next time.